In Memoria Adytum. SCP-5509. The Art of War and Contamination. SCP-5509 is a highly invasive species of artificially created schistosome organisms, microscopic parasitic worms commonly known as blood flukes. Proficient in the infection of and multiplying within human hosts. Unlike non-anomalous schistosomes, SCP-5509 instances are capable of releasing fertilized eggs into fresh water sources. These eggs are capable of infecting hosts through consumption or exposure to mucous membranes. Once within a host, the eggs will hatch before rapidly maturing. Short-term symptoms of SCP-5509 infestation are congruent with schistosomiasis, including skin lesions, fever, chills, headache, stomach pain, joint pain, cough, fatigue, and muscle aches. An SCP Foundation research report sent by Dr. Samira Golzer to Dr. Judith Lowe further explained this SCP. It reads, "This has to be an artificially mutated blood fluke. Schistosome infections are typically non-lethal in humans when treated with praziquantel or other antiparasitics, which kill the worms causing the infection. When treated with antiparasitic medications, SCP-5509 instances are highly sensitive to these treatments, and are thus easily cleared up by generic over-the-counter antiparasitics. This would normally be a good thing, as the cells dissolve and the organism itself dies. However, analysis of all known SCP-5509 instances has revealed the presence of both strains of SCP-3862 sigma, the pathogenic bacterial infection that is highly resistant to all commonly known antimicrobial therapies, and is considered biologically immortal. While mostly innocuous on their own, the two strains combine to manifest SCP-3862 sigma, the disease that killed my predecessor, Dr. Forrester. The more I study this, the more I believe that the SCP-5509 organisms were specifically created to be a biological containment and delivery system for SCP-3862 sigma, allowing 3862 sigma to spread undetected in the general populace. Furthermore, there are certain genetic markers in the SCP-5509 organism itself which make me think that they're all designed to die on their own at some point regardless of the presence of antiparasitics. There is no way for me to know how far this contagion is spread, but I can tell you that we're about to see a lot more cases of SCP-3862 sigma." End of report. As the origin and long-term effects of SCP-5509 are currently unknown, this file will be updated as new information becomes available. Projected SCP-5509 and SCP-3862 sigma short-term infection rates within NYC. A Stage 3 biohazard quarantine is being upheld within the Borough of Queens in New York City. The New York Hospital Med Center, temporarily designated Emergency Outpost B701, is being used as a treatment facility for SCP-5509 infected individuals. Assets within the CDC and New York City Department of Health are to continue to advise citizens against the consumption and use of unboiled tap water, under the guise of borough-specific water contamination. In conjunction with these efforts, several Foundation-backed nonprofit organizations will continue to distribute bottled water to affected areas in need. The medical department is consulting with the Kelapad Noga initiative to determine a possible cause for the spread of SCP-5509 and its connection to other sarkic-related anomalies. The first known SCP-5509 infection was reported on September 2019 at 12:54 Greenwich Mean Time, from the New York Hospital Med Center in Queens, NYC. Within the next 6 hours, 103 new SCP-5509 related cases were discovered, leading to Foundation-led investigations into the situation. While initial attempts to quarantine and treat affected individuals appeared to be working, by September 2020 there were over 3,600 cases, prompting the Foundation to begin quarantine procedures for the entire borough of Queens. An exhaustive and rapid series of field examinations of the homes belonging to affected individuals first turned up no common factors. The infection initially appeared to be spreading at random, until all collected tap water samples in the infected homes revealed traces of SCP-5509, leading Foundation scientists to theorize that the water supply itself was the source. Foundation assets within the NYC municipal government attempted to contact the reservoir and aqueduct facilities responsible for water quality testing. Of the 13 facilities, the Ashokan Reservoir was the only non-responsive agency. Local law enforcement was used to perform an initial investigation, but contact was lost shortly after their arrival. Mobile Task Force Gamma 44, meat lockers, and a medical research team were dispatched to the Ashokan Reservoir for further investigation. Their video log transcript reads: Upon arriving at the testing facility, the investigation team discovered substantial damage to the front facade of the building. Captain Cobb instructed his team as they approached the front door of the building, "Heads on a swivel, boys. We don't know what we're getting into here." Upon entering the building, the team encountered evidence of a mass anomaly. The entrance hallway was coated with a thick, viscous substance resembling a combination of human excrement and gastropod secretions. Dr. Garden commented, "None of this is natural." Captain Cobb responded with frustration, "That's a hell of an understatement, document. I don't know what the hell kind of stuff they've got you doing that this is only not natural. Frankly, I don't want to know." Dr. Garden attempted to explain, "No, it's not that, it's just that humans don't secrete this kind of fluid." Captain Cobb sarcastically replied, "Well, golly gee, I'm so glad we have you here to tell us the patently obvious." However, the team soon encountered a horrifying sight in the main room of the facility. The remains of the facility staff were displayed above the central holding tank, fused together into an undulating mass suspended above the water vats by thick strands of tendon-like tissue. Dr. Garden realized, "My God, this has to be the source of the infection." But Captain Cobb instructed his team to clear the building before any samples were taken. Dr. Garden protested, "Time is important, Captain. I'd like to take samples before they expire." After assigning different areas to his team, Captain Cobb warned, "This is Black Lodge territory, and they always like leaving little surprises." Dr. Farley asked, "So you've dealt with them, B?" Suddenly, Agent Riley opened the rear access door, causing a bright flash that distorted the video feed before it abruptly terminated. End of log. Backup arrived at the remains of the facility approximately 25 minutes after the video terminated. The subsequent investigation concluded that the facility was destroyed through the detonation of a concealed explosive device. Testing of the water reservoir itself revealed a substantial infestation of SCP-5509, confirming the Ashokan Reservoir as a point of origin for known cases at the time. In the hours following this investigation, similar attacks were reported at several reservoirs along the Delaware, New Croton, and Catskill aqueducts. By September 9, 2019, an estimated 25% of the New York City population had been infested by SCP-5509. The operational protocol then updated as follows. All Foundation sites within the northeastern United States are to remain on lockdown. All sites within North America are to remain on standby until further notice. The Foundation has commandeered Center for Disease Control assets within SCP-5509 affected areas and will use these resources to help mitigate the spread of SCP-5509. In conjunction with the CDC and assets within mainstream media, a disinformation campaign has begun downplaying the severity of SCP-5509 and its impact on civilian populations. The New York tri-state area has been placed under a state of emergency, and the Department of External Affairs has executed Article 2, Section 33 of the Foundation Charter, and is in the process of directing state and federal officials to cede direct control over resources and infrastructure in SCP-5509 affected areas to the Foundation. The Kelapad Noga Initiative is working in conjunction with the Medical Department, an intelligence agency, to ascertain a treatment for SCP-5509 infections and an effective counter-strategy against the possible sarkic threat. Additionally, The O5 Council has initiated Situation Delta 4 potential biological breach of veil scenario in order to begin preparation for wide-scale activation of Foundation assets for rapid response deployment. In conjunction with the NYPD, the Foundation has established 26 security checkpoints throughout New York City in an attempt to regulate travel and maintain peace. Mobile Task Force Pi-1, City Slickers, and NTF Gamma 44 have been dispatched to respond to a drastic increase in organized criminal activity throughout the city. In several instances, security checkpoints have been targeted by rioters, instigated by known members of GOI 0432, the Hunters Black Lodge. There are currently an estimated 2.45 million SCP-5509 infected individuals within the New York metropolitan area. To date, the medical division has been unsuccessful in creating a viable method of removing SCP-5509 from an infected human host. Further testing has indicated that long-term SCP-5509 infection will result in an altering of brain chemistry, making infected individuals more susceptible to manipulation. This is confirmed by the high percentage of infected civilians engaging in directed criminal activity, with no prior history of such. It is believed that the UN itself is the primary target of this attack, as multiple heads of state are on site due to the General Assembly and the previously scheduled meeting of the UN Security Council. As there has been no coordinated global occult coalition response, the Foundation has initiated Operation Unison, in which a joint task force comprised of multiple mobile task forces will secure and evacuate high-priority targets. The UN Secretary-General and the special envoys to the UN Security Council will be transported to one of the secure locations designated in the Foundation Charter. Following their extraction, all other diplomatic and political officials will be secured as dictated by Field Command. The Kelipad Noga initiative has been given provisional command over the Foundation response, with field operations being led by Commander Malachi Ben Liraz. The SCP Foundation then sent an emergency notice to all Foundation personnel. It reads: on September 19, 2019 at 7:12 Eastern Standard Time, a Foundation convoy consisting of 42 Foundation security personnel and 5 transport vehicles arrived at the headquarters of the United Nations in Manhattan. Immediately following their arrival, a large serpentine organism emerged from the East River, destroying several security barricades and the Foundation convoy. The following footage was captured via Foundation audio-video equipment and CCTV security cameras. Location: Headquarters of the United Nations, Manhattan, New York City. Footage begins immediately following the arrival of the serpentine organism and the destruction of the Foundation convoy. Of the 42 agents sent by the Foundation, 4 survived the initial attack. Agents Marlowe and Jones quickly got up and aimed at the large serpentine creature that was about to devour the Prime Minister of Belgium, Alexander De Croo. Agent Jones called out on the radio, "Comms check, sound off. Who's out there?" Agent Lane was seen dragging herself from an overturned transport and responded, "Jones. I'm here, my leg is damned up pretty bad." Agent Hess asked, "What the hell is going on, Sarge?" Agent Jones instructed on the radio, "Regroup at the main entrance, do not engage. I repeat, do not engage." He then tried to call for backup, but was interrupted by a dark-skinned human figure dressed in chitinous armor and scarlet robes appearing before him, quickly severing his legs at the knees with a long scythe. The flesh around the wounds began to undulate and blister. Agent Marlowe charged at the attacker, but a thick tentacle reached from beneath Karcist Helena Eva's robe and lifted him into the air by his ankle. Karcist Helena Eva bellowed before bisecting Agent Marlowe vertically with its scythe. Agent Lane called out to her team, "Jones? Hess. Damn, what's going on?" Agent Hess asked for her position, to which Agent Lane replied, "I'm 4, maybe 5, meters south from Transport 3. Agent Hess realized he couldn't reach her without being spotted and apologized, "Shit, I'm not gonna reach you without being spotted. I am sorry, Lane. I gotta go for the entrance, just play da." But Carcis Helena Eva quickly glided on a mass of writhing tentacles toward Agent Hess and stated, "So quick to abandon your comrades, you are not worthy of my holocaust." With its left hand, Carcis Helena Eva picks Agent Hess up from the ground by his throat, then tosses him aside with ease in the direction of the large flesh beast. The serpentine creature catches the agent in its mouth and quickly devours him. The mutated corpse of Agent Jones reanimates, using vascular tendrils it drags itself towards Agent Lane. The agent discharges her firearm several times into her attacker, with no noticeable effect. Carcis Helena Eva watches as the reanimated corpse tears into Agent Jones, her screams cut short as it consumes her head. With one of its tendrils, the creature throws the feet of Agent Lane in front of Carcis Helena Eva. Carcis Helena Eva considers the offering for a moment before walking over to the large serpentine creature and jumps to its back. It points towards the building and the creature lunges forward in response. Carcis Helena Eva then said onwards, "The Ozirmak awaits." End of log. Internal security footage observed Carcis Helena Eva and its serpentine creature killing over 200 individuals, 126 of which were diplomatic officials, before collapsing the Secretariat building. After destroying the building, Carcis Helena Eva and its creature returned to the East River. The attacks took place over a 38-minute span. Foundation backup arrived moments after the collapse of the building. The footless remains of the Secretary General and the special envoys were found impaled on chitinous spikes within the General Assembly building. SCP-5509 infections have been reported in the United Kingdom, France, Canada, Japan, India, Germany, Israel, South Korea, and China, with all current attempts to develop a pharmacological response proving ineffective. The number of SCP-5509 infected individuals is currently estimated at approximately 46 million.